Center Street in Lower Manhattan. Police sirens from patrol cars streaking north out of headquarters competed with our conversation. You know why juries like homicide so much? It's easy for them. The wide sleeves of his black robes flapped about as the judge waved his arms in the air. A corpse, a weapon, an unnatural death. They know that a terrible crime occurred. You've just got to put the perp in the ballpark, and they send him up the river for you. I opened my mouth to address him. He pointed a finger in my direction and kept going. You spend most of every damn rape trial just trying to prove there was even a crime committed. Moffat wasn't wrong. The hardest thing about these cases was convincing a jury that a felony had actually taken place. People usually kill one another for reasons. Not good reasons, but things that 12 of their peers can grab onto and accept as the precipitating cause. Greed, rage, jealousy, infidelity. All the deadly sins and then some. Prosecutors don't have to supply a motive, but most of the time one makes itself visible and we offer it up for their consideration. Sex crimes are different. Nobody can fathom why someone forces an act of intercourse on an unwilling partner. Psychologists ruminate about power and control and anger, but they haven't stood in front of a jury box dozens of times, as I have, trying to make ordinary citizens understand crimes that seem to have no motives at all. Explain why the clean-cut 19-year-old sitting opposite them in the well of the courtroom broke into a stranger's apartment to steal property but became aroused at the sight of a 58-year-old housewife watching television, so he held a knife to her throat and committed a sexual act. Explain why the supervising janitor of a midtown office building would corner a cleaning woman in a broom closet on the night shift when the hallway was dark and deserted, pushing her to her knees and demanding oral sex. May I tell you what I've got, Judge? In a minute. Moffat waved me off with the back of his hand, rays of the late afternoon sunlight glancing off the garnet-colored stone in his pinky ring. Peter, let me hear about your client. Andrew Tripping, 42 years old, no record. Well, that's not exactly true, Peter. Nothing you can use at trial, is there, Alex? Now, how about letting me finish without interrupting? I placed my legal pad on the desk and started to list all the facts I knew that would flush out the picture Tripping's lawyer was about to paint. Graduated from Yale, went to the Marine Corps, did some work for the CIA for about 10 years. Now he's a consultant. Your guy and everyone else who's not employed. Everybody who hasn't got a job is a consultant. What field? Security? Governmental affairs? Terrorism? Spent a lot of time in the Middle East? Asia before that? Can't give you too many details. Can't or won't? You'll tell me, but then you'll have to kill me? Moffat was the only one to laugh at his own jokes. He slid the yellow-backed felony complaint out of the court file and flipped it over. Made $250,000 bail. Must know something, or somebody. Peter smiled at me as he answered. Our friend, Miss Cooper, was a bit excessive in her request at the arraignment. I got a cut in half in criminal court. He spent a week on Rikers before I got him out. Sure doesn't look like a rapist. What is it, Judge? The blazer, rep tie, and wire-rimmed glasses? Or just that he's the first white guy you've had in the dock all year? There was no point in losing my temper. Yet. The jury would be looking at Tripping the same way the judge was. People heard the word rape and expected to see a Neanderthal, club in hand, peering out from behind a tree in Central Park. I had Moffat's attention now. Who's the girl? 36-year-old woman, Paige Vallis. She works at an investment banking firm. She knows the guy? This one of those date things? Miss Vallis had met Tripping twice before. Yes, he had invited her out to dinner the evening this happened. Alcohol involved? Yes, sir. Moffat looked at the complaint again, comparing the place of occurrence with the defendant's home address. Now his primitive doodles were a wine bottle and a couple of glasses. Then she went back to his place, I guess. It wouldn't have surprised me if he had said what he was undoubtedly thinking at that moment. What did she expect to happen if she went home with him at midnight after a candlelit dinner and a bottle of wine? I had countered that logic in court more times than I could remember. Moffat didn't speak the words.